want to bring in the former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, 2020 Democratic presidential candidate Julian Castro, who was vetted as a potential running mate for Secretary Hillary Clinton back in 2016. So we have this breaking news. This is the new information that we are getting from reporting over the last hours, but also deeply over the last 2 weeks, putting it together. A couple of things that Kamala Harris is looking for. Not a surprise, I don't think. Chemistry and a governing partner. You often hear people who are the nominee talk about, they take very seriously the idea that it has to be somebody who can take over, if need be, as president. But this gets interesting. Someone who will not undermine her, and I want to get your reaction to that. Two sources familiar with Harris's thinking said she needs and wants to find someone who will be comfortable following the lead of a woman, and particularly a Black and Indian woman. And I wonder what you make of that.
Well, I look, who knows it better than she does, right? I mean, she has served in this role as vice president. She has been a great partner to President Joe Biden. They've been very effective together. She went through this vice presidential selection process herself a few years ago. So she's in a great position to make these kinds of determinations. Yeah, I absolutely think it's going to be about chemistry. It's going to be about selecting somebody who would be a good governing partner, whose experience complements hers. And it's also going to be about the fact that she does represent a new type of leadership if she becomes president. Is that person going to be able to work with that? So I think that, you know, they're focused on the right factors there in terms of the chemistry and governing. There's also the cardinal rule, of course, of this person has to do no harm. We've seen that rule violated sometimes mostly on the Republican side with folks like Sarah Palin and I think J.D. Vance in this cycle. And probably there's an argument as well for Dan Quayle. So I think above everything else, she's going to make sure that this is someone who's not going to create political problems in the next 3 months or beyond that.
So no political problems and no problems should they, during the campaign or should they get elected. But let me ask you about your own experience, because I think it's fascinating. You've called this a grind of a process. And I've read what we know about this, which is how deep the vetting is, how many pages they need to fill out of information. What was it like for you? Help people to understand that while they may be coming out publicly and being positive and, you know, talking about why they think Kamala Harris would be a great president, what's going on behind the scenes?
Yeah, this is a, very detailed, very precise, even intrusive process, Chris. This is, in 2016, when I went through the VP vetting process with about 9 or 10 other folks, we got a questionnaire at the very beginning of it, had more than 150 questions. They want to know about your political history, financial, employment, legal, personal family history. Then you sit down with a vetting team that asks you detailed questions about that. One of the most interesting questions I remember was they pointed at my phone and they said, would you have any issue if we took your phone and looked through it? And it seemed like it was a question meant to put me on the spot, right? But that's the kind of thing. It's very, very thorough. And it's meant to make sure that the person who is selected, again, is not going to do any harm to the ticket. And then also you go through an interview, of course, with the nominee herself or himself to get a sense of that chemistry. Sometimes there's already a relationship there. Sometimes there's not. What makes the process in 2024 different is this is a very compressed time frame. Only 2.5 or 3 weeks. That means that they're really going to have to thread a needle here. The good news is that former Attorney General Eric Holder is the one leading this process with a great team. They're very experienced. And so I have confidence that they're going to make that Vice President Harris is going to make a very sound decision.
We've only got 30 seconds left, but we keep building this up. And look, it's always a horse race, and there's a natural inclination to be interested in that. But do you think in this case, it maybe is more important than we've seen in the past, in part because of the compressed time, but also that there may be people out there who are looking for a different kind of ticket balancing, given that, frankly, a Black, multiracial woman is at the top of the ticket?
Yeah, I mean, that's unique. This is the first time. So, of course, it's different from other times. And we had a preview of part of this when we had our first female nominee with Secretary Clinton. But this, of course, is special. It's different. It's unique. She's a dynamic type of leader. Here's the good news. She has already re-energized the Democratic base, and she's done that without alienating moderates. That actually gives her a ton of latitude to make the choice, whether they're a progressive or a moderate, that is going to be a good governing partner, that's going to be super competent, that's not going to cause any political problems, and is going to help her cross the finish line in November and then do a very effective job once she's elected.